You were not just trying to get over a person. You were trying to get over the future you imagined with them. The conversations you thought you would have, the places you thought you would visit, the life you believed you were going to build together. And that is why letting go feels almost impossible, because even though the relationship has ended, a part of you is still living inside the future that never happened. You wake up and reach for your phone, and for one brief second before reality returns, you expect to see their name. You hear a familiar song. You pass a place you once visited together. You see something they would have loved, and suddenly they are everywhere again. Your mind understands that the relationship is over, but your heart did not receive the message at the same time. So you keep asking yourself, how do I stop loving someone who once felt like home? Here's the truth. You may not be able to stop loving them immediately. Feelings do not disappear simply because a relationship ends, but you can stop building your entire life around their absence. Getting over someone does not mean erasing every memory. It does not mean pretending the relationship never mattered. And it does not mean forcing yourself to hate them so that leaving becomes easier. Real healing is quieter than that. It means accepting that someone can be deeply important to you and still no longer be right for the life you are trying to build. It means understanding that love alone cannot always save a relationship. Two people can love each other and still hurt each other. They can share beautiful memories and still be unable to create a healthy future. They can mean everything to each other for one chapter and still not belong in the next one. That truth hurts, because you are not only grieving the person, you're grieving the version of yourself that existed beside them, the person who felt chosen, the person who believed everything would work out, the person who had already imagined how the story would end. Sometimes that imagined future is harder to release than the actual relationship, and that is why your mind keeps returning to the past. It's searching for a different ending. You replay the last conversation. You study old messages. You think about the moments when something changed. You wonder what you could have said differently, what you should have noticed earlier, whether one more apology, one more explanation, or one more attempt could bring everything back. But healing begins when you stop negotiating with a chapter that has already ended. You cannot move forward while secretly keeping the door open for them. Every time you check their profile, every time you reread an old conversation, every time you imagine them returning and finally saying everything you wanted to hear, you teach your mind that the connection is still alive. You may call it curiosity, but your heart experiences it as hope. And hope, when attached to something that has already ended, can quietly keep you trapped. So the first step is not to forget them. The first step is to stop feeding the attachment. Mute their account. Move the photographs somewhere you cannot reach every night. Stop asking mutual friends what they are doing. Stop searching for hidden meanings in everything they post. And do not send the message you already know will reopen the same pain. Not because they are a terrible person, not because you want to punish them, but because your peace deserves protection. At first, the silence will feel unbearable. Your days may feel longer. Your room may feel emptier. Even ordinary routines may remind you of them. That does not mean you made the wrong decision. It means your mind is adjusting to a life it hasn't learned yet. They were not only part of your emotions, they were part of your habits, your mornings, your nights, your weekends, your plans, your sense of identity. And habits do not disappear the moment a relationship ends. They have to be replaced. So begin with something small. Wake up without checking their page. Get out of bed before your mind begins replaying the past. Walk somewhere that carries no memory of them. Return to a goal you abandoned while trying to save the relationship. Exercise, study, work, create something. Clean your room. Change the way you spend your evenings. Meet people who remind you that the world is still bigger than one person. Don't wait until you feel motivated. Movement often comes before motivation. You move first, your feelings slowly follow. At the beginning, you may feel as if you are only distracting yourself, but slowly those distractions become routines. The routines become progress, and progress becomes a new identity. Some days you will feel completely free. Other days, one song or one memory will bring everything back. Don't treat that as failure. Healing is not a straight line. Missing them does not mean you should return. Loving them does not mean you belong together. And having a difficult day does not mean you have lost all your progress. You can miss someone and still choose not to contact them. You can appreciate the memories and still accept that the relationship is over. You can feel pain without returning to the place that created it. That's what real strength looks like. Strength is not becoming cold. It's not pretending that you never cared. It's not replacing them immediately just to prove that you have moved on. Strength is remembering everything, feeling everything, and still choosing what is healthier for you. And then, one day, something small will happen. You will wake up and realize they were not your first thought. An entire morning will pass, then an afternoon, then eventually a full day. You will hear the song that once destroyed you, and it will simply be a song. You will see their name and feel distance where pain used to live. That's when you will understand. You did not erase them. You simply stopped abandoning yourself for them. You do not need them to regret losing you. You do not need them to see how much you have changed. You do not need a final apology. And you do not need a perfect conversation that explains every unanswered question. Sometimes closure is not something another person gives you. Sometimes closure is the moment you decide that your life deserves to continue even without the answer you wanted. So keep the memories if you need to. Keep the lessons. Keep the love that made you softer, wiser, and more aware of what you deserve. But release the waiting. Release the imaginary conversations. Release the fantasy that they will return and finally become the person you needed them to be. And release the belief that the best part of your life ended when the relationship did. Because it didn't. Your life is not over. You are simply standing between the person you used to be and the person you are becoming. This pain is not the final page of your story. It is the place where you learn that love should never require you to lose yourself. And the moment you finally stop waiting for them to return is the moment you begin returning to yourself.